This morning, we're joined by Oklahoma City Mayor David Holt for our weekly chats.
Well, good morning, Mr. Mayor. Thanks for talking with us.
Hi, good morning.
Hey, let's talk a little bit about what everyone's been talking about, this proposed Bricktown high-rise. It could be the second largest skyscraper in the country, twice the size of the Devon Tower. What are your thoughts on this? Will we ever see this be a reality?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know anything you don't. I will remind you, this previous development had come to us, and the city had made a TIF allocation, which of course is, kind of tax money internal to the project, helping it out. And, that was made on the understanding of the hotel and the residences that would be high rise, but nothing obviously of the scale that was discussed this week. So I still have confidence that, that sort of development is going to happen there. I'm pretty excited about it. Of course, I also know that sometimes nothing happens, and that's okay too. It's the private sector, and they make their own decisions. Obviously, our TIF money is only paid upon completion of the project. But if this new proposal materializes, okay. I mean, that's great. But it's like we make our plans as a community based on the things that are foreseeable and the goals and aspirations that we know we can achieve. If this happens, I guess that'd just be a cherry on top. I'm not holding my breath or putting any deposits down for the condo at the top floor, but it's fun to talk about. And I guess what I would say my real takeaway from that whole, announcement was just that he had gotten new confidence in Oklahoma City from the passage of the arena vote.
Yeah.
And I did hear a lot of that leading up to the vote. A lot of investors and developers we're definitely watching that vote, and it does demonstrate, one way or the other, that people were watching it, and it definitely gives a certain confidence now, knowing that Oklahoma City's momentum will continue.
That kind of leads into our next question, Mayor. What is next for Prairie Surf Studios, which is currently leasing the city-owned Cox Convention Center?
Yeah. Well, first of all, that's been great. And I was, one of the chief proponents putting all that together 3 years ago. And it's definitely proven out that there's an opportunity for film in our city. We always knew, and we always said, both parties said from the very beginning, this was a temporary home because Cox Center is not really, it's a building that's reaching the end of its functional life. It would need millions of dollars to stay standing, for years to come. So we know that this was temporary. Having said that, it is, as we've acknowledged, it's a possible arena site. The lease with Prairie Surf states that they need 2 years warning if their lease is not going to be extended beyond the initial 5-year term. And so that meant that the city actually needed to give them notice here in the next 2 weeks. That does not necessarily mean that we know that's where the arena is going to go. It does mean that we know that's a possible location of the arena, and we had to protect our options and go ahead and give that notice. Mm-hmm. And so that's what we're doing. But we will still go through a process in the new year about deciding where this arena is going to go. And obviously that is probably the first order of business in implementing this new arena, is figuring out that location. And it could go there. We'll see.
All right. Well, you got the early Christmas present with the vote of a yes by the people of Oklahoma City. Mayor, Merry Christmas to you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. It will be a Merry Christmas indeed in Oklahoma City. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everybody.
Merry Christmas, Mayor.